Hi there. Welcome in, everyone. Hi, I'm Chef Jay Tay. Happy to see all of you back. Hello there, Will. Welcome in, Muskeg. Hello there, Narrator. Hello, Soph. Welcome. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. What's new? I don't have any dairy in the house tonight. Hey, Kip. Welcome. Good morning. Hey, Mel. Welcome in. It'd be Pesto night. Free wrench? Is it usable? Nice smell. It may be because you're older, you enjoy better things more. Did I get away with calling her older? It's actually fact of life that I commonly repeat here on stream, so I'm sorry for those that have heard me say this 5 times. But as you get older, your saliva thickens. And therefore, things that are more bitter to you as a child become less bitter as an adult. Because apparently, as you get older, nature doesn't care if you get poisoned. I enjoy broccoli and greens and a whole lot of other bitter things a lot more than I did when I was a kid. Myself. Oh, hey, you're smoking over here. You can turn that off. You probably just thought that was the coffee. No, that was that pan. I have been in cleaning mode. Just, like... I put the shelves together. But the shelves came with so much styrofoam. Like, I feel like I filled up half of my trash bin with styrofoam yesterday. And so now there's, like, little styrofoam balls all over my house. Everywhere. Like... I didn't even break it up in the house. Like, I carefully stacked it and carried it outside and broke it up outside directly into the trash bin. There's still... But even besides that, are you working tonight? Nope. And the other half of it is I've just been cleaning and cleaning and cleaning because I just got rid of a couch which had a whole bunch of stuff underneath it and behind it. Like, I had made my own custom mud flaps for my trailer at one point. I ended up deciding that I really only needed the one to guard the generator that I had on the back. And so I made 4 of them, but I made 2 of them. I started making another 2 and only installed 1. So I had 3 of these things still behind my couch that I don't have any cream tonight for my coffee, so we're just gonna skip that part. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I appreciate your company. Cheers. So those are now crammed next to my washer and dryer because I still have no idea what I'm going to do with them. But also I've been sweeping and mopping, and I was expecting actually the racks to arrive today. And so I was expecting like a full day to be able to clean up and mop up all of the floors yesterday. As it was, instead, I woke up to a text that they were already there. And so I rushed around in the morning and did a quicker mopping job and then started putting them together, half giving up on the mess, knowing that it was going to be creating a new mess and I was going to have to clean up again anyways. Anyways, welcome in, Melvin. Hello there, the blacksmith. Let me get a... Yeah, I'll just use paper towel tonight. Nope, that's not going to work for my plans. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Was looking for ratios on gnocchi. Hey, Mimic. We can use you. You're a little small, though. I want a little extra water in there with the potatoes, just to help them cook along a little bit better. Cold water. Hey, Sniper. Welcome in there. So I got taters started. Next in, we're going to start our dessert. Dessert. Even though it's sort of sweet and savory. We're definitely doing sweet. I don't know if 100% we want to call this dessert. Why not cook them up so they cook faster? They're not going to cook all that much faster. And I want them to still keep their skins, because they're going to turn into gnocchi. I mean, I guess I could, but I don't think I really need to. I got them started while I'm doing dessert. I'm just going to do this too while I'm here. This isn't really part of my dinner plans, but it is part of use it up plans. Ooh, what flavor do we go with, though? I think I'm going to be boring. Nice. So besides this, we can turn the power off on this right now. We have these. I'm going to mix up the rest of this yogurt. And I'm going to make some ice cream for later. Frozen yogurt. And so we got vanilla yogurt. Cocoa powder. Wait, they're selling an apple-flavored Busch Light? This is very interesting information to me, but... Hey, Kigzen. Welcome in. I'm working with Pesto tonight. I'm going to be making dinner and sort of dessert. I'm making muffins. So I'm doing pesto gnocchi with sun-dried tomato and doing lemon poppy seed. Maybe should have gotten the whisk out for this. Rip. And I think I need to thin this out a little bit. I don't have milk to thin it out with, so we'll use water. Sorry for this little bit of segue here. But yogurt's going, so time to use it or lose it. Okay, this was 67. We need an egg. Lemon juice and oil. Where's that emote from Will? Is that yours? Nice. You're not a teacher or something, are you? A little lemon juice in there. We'll give this a little bit of whisk up. You will probably work for this. Let's not risk it. A little bit larger. I don't know if I like this recipe I'm following here or not for this tonight. Oh. But we'll find out. Wait, we got everything else in here? We got all of our liquids for the most part. Yeah, none of that needs to be weighed. Baking powder and soda. Maybe not that much. Baking soda. Where did I hide those? Are those in the baking stuff? Or are they over here? Are they up here? Nope. Over there? Nope. Where did I hide those? They must be in the baking stuff. What do you know? They're in the baking stuff. Let's see. We do white, pink, blue, purple, or yellow. That was a bit of salt I just threw in there. You're just saying blue because it was the hardest to get to, aren't you, Dances? Preheat our oven. It's like, I know I just used a spatula. Where's that? Oh, hey, we need to add the poppies in here, too. Hey, Dragon. I'm trying to make myself fail a drug test. I don't have a drug test. We'll add our wets to the dries. Yes, I know that's not what's supposed to happen there. Ooh. I hear nice sounds in my ear. Thank you for that resub, JK. Greatly appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm calling that even enough. Now you're all like, where's the pesto? Pesto gets swirled in the top. Why? Why do they make plastic lids? Soph got it. It beat out Pesto. It beat out. I just tried to combine pesto and sesame into one. Streamer brain. My swirling ability could maybe use some work. So these are going to be our lemon poppy seed pesto cupcakes. Or muffins. I mean, there's a fair amount of sugar in there. Do we have to get into debating the difference between cupcakes and muffins? Hey, Abby. Welcome, welcome. How have you been? Nice, so. You take time and find nice... Oh, okay, I was just gonna say, you take time and find nice pine nuts to match with it, too? Alright, is our oven up to temp? Oven's still heating. We can get rid of the sugar. Prunes have gotten such a bad rap. I mean, plums are not all that bad. They're just dried plums. I mean, like, growing up, all I ever heard about was prunes. They're just full of fiber. They're great for you. No one liked them. No one wanted to. It's sort of a attitude. And yeah, I don't even know if they're all that fiberlicious or not, or they just make you go. Pretty sure I've had them as an ingredient challenge in the past. Oh, here comes all the pun jokes. Are you saying they're a well-regulated industry? Now what do I do with the rest of that? I'm gonna clean this bowl out that I used for making the batter, and we're gonna use that for making our gnocchi next. Gonna go ahead and throw these in the oven now. "17-minute timer." Oh, pipe down back there. I was listening to Korn earlier today. We'll give those another couple minutes. They're pretty much there, but center's just a little too tough still. I have not heard. I knew they were doing some new stuff, but no, I haven't heard any of it. What actually happened was I got into doing cleanup and stuff like that and got frustrated and switched from browser listening to, I opened up Winamp and started listening to music that I haven't been listening to in ages, which was nice, but it was a nice change. Really kicks the llama's ass. It works, why change it? I don't do that Spotify stuff. Like, I know Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit have been doing all sorts of new stuff too. They like never really stopped. I don't know if I've really listened to anything they've done since Hot Dog Water. Let's see, we got this set. We're basically... I just gotta wait on the potatoes. Like... Nice! Yeah, I don't listen to a ton of new music. Most of what I would qualify as new music that I listen to is like streamers that are looping and largely looping stuff that already exists, but making it their own. There's a number of them I listen to over the week. Over the month, over the week. Some of them I watch pretty regularly, and some ones I watch once or twice a month, sort of a thing. And as usual, with pretty much all streaming for me, it's sort of second monitor. Always on entertainment. You're easy. You're hot. I'm being a little cincy about this, but it's hot enough that I don't really want to work with it for making the gnocchi anyways, but I don't have anything else to do here but sit here and play around with getting the skin off of it. In other words, I know this could be done much, much quicker. You want to know the really quick way to take this off of one of these? Rub it off with paper towel. We're going to do that another moment to cool down, because we need to add egg to that, and I don't want it to immediately scramble the egg. I'm going to throw these in the fridge. I got to put them in the cooler over there, and they're not going to work in here. But that's a project for after stream. Maybe that's a project for the bottom drawer too. Do I want... Well, I'm putting this with a ton of herbs. I was about to just ask if we should throw some herbs into these gnocchi. I don't think that's necessarily a great plan. It says it's enough herbage. Pretty sure that's not the food interpretation of dilute. Imagine if we use that interpretation on humans. Oh, he's just a little more dilute. Still too warm. It's a metal bowl, so it should not hold to heat forever, but... So tonight's dinner is actually... It's not vegan, but it's vegetarian. Should I add some canned chicken to this? Wait, he did something without meat? Yeah, no beans either. What's the bean love today? Someone was mentioning bean before stream started. I've got cocoa beans. I've got vanilla beans. I've got lima beans. And I've got cranberry beans, or pinto beans. How many beans you need? What do we have before we decide to add more? A little lost in where you're coming from with that, Mel. Let's take a glance at our muffins back here. Cupcakes, muffins. What happened to your toothpick? I guess I'm getting a fresh toothpick because I don't trust that one anymore because I don't know where it went. I'm pretty certain these are fine. Pretty sure these are. Yep. Exclamation mark now, Mel. And hope that the bot figures it out. Give it a second. Well, and then we have the lemon poppy seed pesto. Okay, I think we're in safe territory for our egg now. Darn it. Went and got that dirty again. So now I gotta get a different bowl dirty. Sun-dried tomato and pesto gnocchi. Hey, Shauna. Welcome back. You would add peas and onions and perhaps a bit of prosciutto or even shaved deli-style ham. Well, I think sun-dried tomatoes are a pretty strong, potent flavor, and we're definitely going to hit this with the pesto. You could go with a pizzo instead of a pesto if you're doing this yourself. Hey, Chris. I feel like this is too dry. Might need to add myself a I think I might need another egg here. Sadly. Then another egg might be too much. We're gonna find out though. Mm. Nice smell. I wish I had a nice ricer to make sure I had all these potatoes a little bit finer. They'd be doing gnocchis a little bit better if you can get the potatoes like perfectly mashed. putting a ridge or ruffle on our gnocchi. Help them sauce bind. Make them look a little pretty once they're in the plate. Doesn't show up very well here, but once you boil them, get rid of that flour on the outside. Just realized I need to get water boiling. Get over here, pasta pot. I certainly don't shop once a week. I do plan out my meals. My dinners are all down in the doobly-doo down below. There's a calendar link down below if you'd like to see. And so things are planned out as far as that. Wednesdays we do ingredient challenges. It sort of works out that I typically do shopping about twice a week. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Depending on how with it I am, apparently. Like, but often I have to shop for today. So I'm often shopping Monday, Tuesday for today. And then shopping again for Friday, Sunday, Monday. And it makes things easier in the sense that I'm only, like, I'm cooking 4 nights a week here on Twitch, but the other nights, I'm generally eating leftovers. I'm doing really simple, just throwing some pasta together or something. So it's pretty much, this is all I really have to plan for at the same time. I have a few favorites on top of that, my coffee and that, but as I used to explain, like, this whole thing sort of, my starting on Twitch here and streaming everything was preceded by me largely doing the same thing, but just posting pictures on Twitter. Back when Twitter was Twitter and was worth using. Awesome, I bought it. We're about to go into another ad here, but yeah, ingredient challenge Wednesdays. The challenge here is to use the ingredient both sweet and savory. I often do a dinner-dessert combo. I don't know if tonight's just necessarily counts as dessert, though, but it is in the sweet territory. We've got the cupcakes or muffins with lemon poppy and pesto. Did I get all of them? I got this one already, but it was a little messy. Calling those done. Panda, are you asking where I bought it? Yes, you are in ad jail, so we'll wait for the ads to wrap up. Let's see how much longer we got on that. We got a minute on that. 2 minutes on that, rather. Start heating up the water, something I should have done already. So there's a flame underneath that water now. Let's see. How did the bottom of our muffins or cupcakes turn out? Nice bake on those. Needs more lemon. Not too shabby otherwise, though. Maybe I used a little bit more vanilla. Let's see what the top's like with all the pesto in it. Like, the bottom didn't have a ton of pesto. All the pesto's gonna be here. Needs more lemon, but otherwise, this is pretty damn good. Wish it had less garlic, but can't really do much about that. You can turn off the oven now. Yeah. Is it dessert? I don't think so. It's sweet. It tastes well. It tastes good. It works well. Not dessert. I haven't started the vote for next week, but I think Sesame already has enough votes to be in the final vote again. Well, the challenge for tonight, Panda, was to use pesto as an ingredient. I have a vote every week in my Discord. Chat first off, I have one channel where chat can suggest ingredients, and then the ingredients that get the most votes in that channel move to a weekly vote between the top two. And the top two each week, everyone votes on. And that one I have to use to make dinner and dessert, or sweet and savory use on Wednesdays. And so this is my sweet use of pesto. And these are a lemon poppy seed pesto muffin. And then we're going to have pesto with our gnocchi. And we got sun-dried tomatoes. Is there like an actual brand that does that? Like, there's all sorts of recipes, and I came across all sorts of recipes where they're like, well, just skip the garlic and make your pesto normally otherwise. Because that's the other constriction, is I do try to buy whatever the ingredient challenge is. I'm trying to do that way people can pick weird things out of the supermarket and have me do things like after 8 dinner mints and So we are chilling. We're waiting on water to be fully boiling. And yeah, I think that's all we're really waiting on. There's also a number of other types of recipes that I sort of shy away from here on stream. They're mostly the ones that take forever to set or something like that. Like, I want to show you relatively the final product if I can. There's times when I'm like, this is going to take too long. I put it in the fridge for a couple hours. I'll give you a photo afterward. I try to avoid that. And there's recipes that's just sort of like inevitable. Like puddings, jellos, you know, things with gelatin where they need to sit in the refrigerator for several hours to cure, set. Ice creams where I have to freeze them ahead of time in order to do them live. Granatas and stuff along that same line where they have to be frozen for me to scrape them. They're all delicious dishes. I just don't think that they're not horrible. They just take forever to do properly on stream. They're sort of like a multi-stream thing. Got to hook you in for a couple of streams in order to do those. So the plan here, since we don't want to hugely cook our tomatoes or pesto, but we also don't want them just room temperature. The plan here is to melt butter in the pan while we're cooking or boiling our gnocchi. The gnocchi then goes from the pan into the butter, and then we add our tomato and pesto in there just for a quick toss with everything to warm it all up, and then plate it. We're not trying to cook the pesto, we're not trying to cook the sun-dried tomatoes, but we don't want them cold. I probably should have cut the gnocchi smaller. These are pretty big. I probably should have done these about half the size that I did. Oh well. I'm just making big pillows. Matters for cook time and getting, like, you can make them so large that they don't cook properly in the center. But I think they're gonna do okay like this. But and you get into things like the amount of potato you want for how much sauce when you're getting into being like the final plate, and you're figuring out what your final thing is supposed to be like if you're in a restaurant or something like that and you're engineering a plate. Like, you then have to, you know, oh, you want that bite with that amount of sauce, sort of a thing. Which I absolutely don't do when I do everything spur of the moment live on stream. There is very little planning ahead here other than what I am doing and making sure I have the ingredients. Other than making sure I have the proper ingredients, it's a little bit like a mad scientist. Can I add that? Sure, let's try that. How about that? I haven't done that before. Let's try that. Why you no boil? You're supposed to boil. Let's try flipping you 180, see if that helps you. Do a little dish cleanup while we're waiting on water to boil, I guess. It landed exactly in the other bowl. Darn it. the flame underneath you, right? You're heating up, aren't you, Water? You're gonna get there eventually. Oops. Hopefully they didn't play any audio. Wasn't supposed to. Still didn't load up stream properly tonight. Interesting. Boil! I command you to boil! Welcome, Forrest. We're waiting on water. Otherwise, I'd be boiling gnocchi. Instead, I'm doing dishes. Waiting. We've got lemon poppy seed pesto muffins for our sweet side of tonight's dinner, or our dessert tonight. More likely to be breakfast tomorrow, but it's our sweet application of pesto tonight. And then our savory one is going to be gnocchi. What's in the jar? That is sun-dried tomatoes in oil. No worries, Mel. Did I just try to call you well? Oops. You know, first it was trying to combine sesame and pesto together. Now I'm trying to combine Mel and well together. Streamer brain. It's just... It's been 30 seconds. Have you checked OBS is still showing the same thing? Chat has responded. And if you're still cooking or not? Rinse and repeat. Welcome to streaming while cooking. That's even without getting into the... Are we broadcasting on YouTube and Twitch properly? Maybe I could do that. I don't know if that would that get into the way over here or not. Sitting here debating if I should take this monitor that I have up here. That's primarily, it's just OBS for me, showing what I have for the scene mostly, my audio and all that. Debating, you know, flip that on its end. Is that gonna be in the video that way? Because if I flipped it that way, I could maybe have two versions of OBS running, especially now that I'm not weighing it down with NDI, and do a vertical output. I'm sick in the head. Like, there's no reason for me to doing a live active vertical output with my horizontal. I hate vertical video. Boo on TikTok. Boo on shorts in general. It's bubbling. I guess we can get started with that. Uh-oh. I'm sitting long enough that they're trying to stick to the cutting board. They've soaked through their flour coating. We're going to do about half of these at a time. In they go. I mean, we'll start heating this pan up. Oh no, grumpy child. No floaters yet. Hopefully they're not all stuck at the bottom. Oh, now they're starting to wake up. Let's give them a quick turn just to see. Sun-dried tomatoes. Pesto. Gnocchi. Heat off on that now. A little bit of torn basil over the top. Let's get the butter for the second round there. I think we got enough oil in that pan already to wrap us up. Not in love with the way this pesto looked after I gave it just the littlest bit of heat. Like, it almost turned gray on me. Do a little of this action over the top. The non-cellulose type tonight. Yeah, not loving the look of this pesto after it's been cooked at all. Like, I'm not really trying to cook the pesto, but it should be able to take a touch of heat. And I don't know what science they're using to make this pesto. I need to clean off this counter real quick. So I think that is where we are going to leave things for this lovely evening. We have what I think is going to be a delicious combination of sun-dried tomatoes and our homemade gnocchi with pesto. That'll do nicely. Definitely need the Parmesan. Parmesan. Good Parmesan key there. I had one earlier, so they turned out pretty well. I liked them. I think they needed more lemon. I think my lemon flavor in that was lacking. I think they could use some zest. Maybe fresh juice instead of bottled juice. But other than that, they're great. The bake turned out lovely with them. They got a nice crumb to them. The pesto stayed mostly in the top, but there was a little hint of it in the bottom. And it was pretty strong in the top, and I actually really sort of liked it in the top. It does have a bit of a savory tang to it, but the overall muffin or overall cupcake is sweeter. I mean, there's a fair amount of sugar in there. I think it's mostly the garlic that's fighting us there. Let's see here. What do we got coming up here in the schedule? I am thinking, chat, I might be taking a little bit of time off sometime here in the near future. Maybe a Tuesday or a Monday and a Friday off here sometime this month. I need a little time to do some work on projects outside of normal streaming. And yeah, that's about the best excuse I can give. But I need time to do other things. But other than that, we will be back regularly. I will be back here for Friday, which I'm doing a spinach and chicken bake. And I'm going to be celebrating Delaware on Sunday. So I hope you can come back and join me for both of those. Let's see what we get. I can't quite read this one. Oh, Monday we got a grilled chicken, blue cheese, and arugula salad in a Dutch Baby. If you're unfamiliar with Dutch Babies, check them out. I wish you all a lovely wrap up to your week. I don't think I'm going to raid out tonight, folks. I think I'm just going to call it here and go and enjoy my dinner. I wish you all a lovely finish to your week. I hope you've had a good start so far, if I haven't heard already. And see you back here on Friday. Good night, everyone.